Well, hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Soul, Light, and Body. Today is such a beautiful day, and why it is? Because we're here once again. We are here and we get the chance to change the course. We get that beautiful chance that we could go into that subconscious mind and we could start to rewire that subconscious mind and able to live a fulfilled life. And the transformation is magical. When we really go deep within, peel back those layers and get to that divine self, that transformation is so magical. Sometimes you ask yourself, why did I wait so long to go there? You know, sometimes it will take you some time for you to peel back those layers because of the self limiting beliefs and because of the fear that we've been taking around for all these years. But once we could sit down with ourselves and go deep within ourselves and get those layers, start peeling them back, oh my goodness, you find that gem, you find that diamond, and it becomes really magical. Whatever experiences that you're going through at this moment, know that there is magic within you. Know that there is light within you. Know that there is that precious gem within you. All you need to do is just sit with yourself, peel back those layers, and go with them. Because many times we are looking for the answers on the outside. It's not there, it's within you. And we need to have that as a cornerstone and know that we could go within ourselves and find that answer. How are you showing up in the world today? What is your morning routine? Do you have a morning routine that is going to set the tone for you for the day? Are you just getting up and jump out of bed and just get it going? Are you sitting with yourself? Are you journaling? Are you writing down that 5 things or 3 things or 10 things that you're grateful for? We need to find the time to do those things. It's very important because when we start our day like that, we really set the tone for that day. How is your environment that you're living in? How is that environment? Your environment reflects you. It's time that we go within that environment within and the environment around us and see what needs to change and start to make those changes. If there is something that you have, you're not using it, just donate it to some charity. Declutter. It's time to declutter inward and declutter the outward. So when you start to do that, you start to align yourself. It's all about the alignment. So we really need to check in and start to do these little baby steps is what gonna help us to make these drastic changes in our lives. And we need to start to do that. I'm Karen Pascal, holistic health and wellness coach, and a co-author of 2 ebooks with my sister Joan Williams, also a digital magazine and a hard copy magazine. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Soul, Light, and Body, because we always have these juicy episodes to give to you. And today we got such a beautiful guest. We got such a beautiful topic, the science of empowerment. And Laura is here to really help us to understand how we could use this science to empower ourselves. She's going to give us the tools. She's going to give us the keys that we could use to unlock ourselves from that self-limiting beliefs. Because that self-limiting beliefs have us in a cage. We're locked in there. It's time for us to get out. So Laura is here to help us to come out from that mental prison. It's time we release ourselves, So I'm now going to hand you over to Miss Joan Williams.
Hi. What a nice opening and everything. I like everything that you mentioned there, talking about
Thank
gratitude.
you.
It's so important for gratitude. And yes, we write them down, but are we showing the people who mean a lot and has a meaningful part in our lives? Are we showing them gratitude? Are we writing them little notes just to let them know that you have made an impact in my life? And just writing them, not even texting, but just writing them handwritten note and put it in the mail for them.
Mm.
It means so much because when they read that note, they know that okay, they have inspired you in some way, and who they are looking at as an individual today they has really helped you. So that is a beautiful thing. And are you making space in your life today? Are you making room for that transformation? We are in a new year. I know we set all our resolution and every single thing, but are you zooming in and making space for new things to come in your life so that you can evolve and morph into this much more beautiful person? Are you setting your intentions? What are the intentions are you setting that is going to set the tone for you to move forward? And then when you set the intentions, move in confidence.
Mm.
Move in confidence. Believe in yourself that you've got that. Believe in yourself of who you are, in your environment, your family, and that you will make a change. And don't let your previous experience that might have not been that pleasant, don't let it define you, because that's not who you are. Take the time to sit with yourself and use different modalities that's going to help you as an individual because you are beautiful.
Mm.
You are enough. You're special. You're one of a kind. There's no one else like you. So just take that time for yourself today and go within. Go within. Try to reach that inner self, that inner being. And just know that every day as you show up in the world, you're constantly evolving. Every day you are evolving and you be living your best. Be your best. Because every day we strive to be and live to be our true essential self. Let the side of you come out. Be bold enough to take different steps. And you know what? Celebrate your small wins. Celebrate your small wins because that is what's going to be that layer to take you to the next step. And love yourself.
Mhm.
Love yourself. Show yourself compassion. Show yourself love. Show yourself some grace. And continue to walk in that integrity.
Mm.
My name is Jim Williams, Holistic Health and Wellness Coach. And I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have a beautiful guest today with us. And she's going to just give us some great insight, give us some new perspective, much because she's a transformational coach and so much more, author, so much more. But she's going to help us to understand what it is as a human being, how we can experience that science and transformation, and show us give us those juicy side of that side of magnetism that can help us to evolve forward and be our true essential self. Laura, it's such a pleasure to have you here. It's an honor for us to have you here, taking the time to be here and are going to show us the different formula, how we can live life and live our best and to be our best. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I just everything that the both of you have just shared is so beautiful, and so authentic and so purposeful. And for the people, as we were talking before we went into recording, who are willing to show up and begin a self transformation, this is why it's important for those of us that understand peeling back those layers, what it feels like to move out of a state of stagnation. We talk about this at the Science of Empowerment about how to create letting go of negative beliefs, patterns, almost these algorithms of limitations that just become so embedded in the human condition. And this is what I really love about awareness and awakening. And I know some people think in terms of the new sciences and the modern sciences as magic, as Karen was saying, but boy, magic is alchemy. Alchemy is knowledge, and knowledge allows you to transform. Even if you go back right into the stories of Jesus and look at him as a person, not even as a religious figure, just a person, a story. He studied magic. He studied alchemy of self-evolution. He was an educated human being that wanted to know what it was to reach those heightened, aware, almost realms of understanding what we are capable of being. So I always find that even if you come across individuals and you begin to have these conversations and they turn into almost a distortion of the original story, if we really learn to look at one another and what we're going through as a unified experience, as a collective experience, we then begin to realize that when we heal ourselves, when we transform ourselves, we really are doing something amazing for the entire global community. So I think it's so important to do our best to learn how to be non-judgmental, to learn how to look at how we're perceiving someone. We're looking at it through the lens of something that almost has been instilled in us. And that doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. It's just we need to keep expanding our own lens so that we can welcome in new information, new knowledge, and really work together. Because even though it's an inside job and it is an individualized experience, there's nothing like having support and friendships and community to help us through what a transformation really feels like. So thank you. I'm honored to be here.
It's really nice to have you here, because I think that we all go through different experiences.
Mm.
And when we go through experiences, we kind of really look at the darker side of things.
Mm.
Instead of really looking at the experience or the situation with a positive eye, through a positive lens.
Yeah.
Right? And you're here this morning to help us to really understand how we can really use the science to empower ourselves.
So the really unique aspect from this book, my brother, I always give a heartfelt shout out to my brother. You two are sisters. I love sibling energy. It's just amazing when we can connect. And my brother, Chris, created this formula. And being a former USA Olympic gymnastics coach, he was working the mindset energy long before it became like the cool thing to do. And I noticed that he was working this formula in a way with other people who were already primed, right? They were already showing up willing because they had that mindset of a champion. I wanted to know, what would it be like to apply this formula to everyday people, such as myself, a wife, a mother, a sister, an entrepreneurial, spirited person. How can I bring this formula in, which was the science behind an empowered life, to really work my daily experiences? So it was all around elevating my family, evolving myself, looking at life from the perspective of growth and advancement. And I started to see energies in a very unique way since I was a child. And I really did see things almost in algorithms. So if I was aware that my grandfather and my grandmother were having this dynamic, I quickly saw how it affected my mom and my dad, and then how that dynamic affected me. So I started to look at how we really do become what we see and what we hear. And I wanted to move in this world in a very different way. I wanted to be able to take experiences and recalibrate them so that there was a more positive outcome than, let's say, a negative pattern. And this is something that's very unique about the formula that Chris created. It's so simple, yet it is powerful. And I have literally 7 8, 9-year-olds in our training facility, all the way up to 70-year-old people that come in for mind-body development. There is no limit to where this formula can advance on a daily experience. It's 5 principles and the awareness to 3 fields of energy. And when you move through the formula with any given interaction, whether it's with self or one another or in a group dynamic, such as a corporation, it really does lend itself to look at self first. And how am I showing up? So for instance, let me share with you the 5 principles: awareness, willingness, accountability, critical thinking, and energy. And then we have the quantum fields of negative and positive energy in the world. The really unique thing that we've done is we've put neutrality in between, because very few of us can move from a negative environment to a positive environment with ease, right? We're not born, we're not seeded with that potential, because we end up taking on what we are involved with, right? Our environment. So now when you become aware that I am aware of something, where is my willingness to recalibrate that awareness so that it would move me into the principle of accountability, right? Therefore, I stop blaming, I stop judging, I stop being held captive into the perception. It starts to open up and expand the way my mind thinks about it. Now we move into critical thinking. I love this principle. This is where we take the emotionality, the charge of negative out of the interaction. So, right, we're in an argument with someone, or we're having some distortion, or there's an environment that's like fractured. Again, we go through, I'm aware that I've been here before. We're having the same repeat of this experience, the same conversation, the same emotional feeling. What am I willing to do about it? I am willing to shift my perspective, expand my mindset, start to advance past this repeat. Accountability, it's on me. I'm not going to blame you anymore. I'm not going to hold you accountable for how I am feeling and how I'm moving through this experience. So we go to this critical thinking where we take all that emotion out and we think with positive intelligence, i.e. expansion. Now we move into energy, right? Energy is in everything. Negative, positive, neutral. Which one are you? And when you ask yourself this question in all interactions, and you learn how to own, I am negative right now, but I'm only in a negative state because I have not exercised my potential, my expansion. So now I'm going to move into neutral with that newfound awareness. And I'm just going to hold steady for a moment. Take a breath, go for a walk, journal, eat correctly. Just what I call hang out on the resting ridge of neutrality for a moment. Now we start to prime the environment internally and externally so we can move into a more positive state of interaction. So we get to receive positivity and we get to recalibrate the negative pattern into a more positive outcome.
Wow. I love it.
I hope that helps a little bit. I hope it sparks something in everyone.
Oh my goodness. That really, I hope the viewers are taking notes, because you are giving some real good tools that we could really understand that to move from that negative state to get to that positive state, there is an in between.
Yeah.
Where it's neutral.
Yeah.
So when you can move from that negative and you could go and be neutral and come to that self-awareness, it helps you to recalibrate and able to take you into that positive state of mind. Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
How you can be transported there.
Yes. And it really is quite, I'm almost going to use the word elegant in its own behavior. As you start to apply those principles And everyone, once they hear this, the minute you go out into your world, you can apply those principles and you can start to move through them. And when you become aware of how you can go into neutrality rather than hold yourself into the negative, negative doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's not an evil state. It's not a down state the way we think of it. We actually need negativity because the contrast of what it's telling us to neutralize it and then to go up into the positive realm, we need negativity. It's so important. But what we don't need is to stay connected to it and to let it be part of our daily routine. Like you said, how do you wake up in the morning? So many people wake up already in that negative
Yeah.
state. Oh my God, here comes another day. Oh, I'm overwhelmed with work. Oh, the kids. Oh, my health. No, take that now and use that as a recalibration mechanism to power you into neutrality so that when you sit in the neutral state, now you begin to realize I am an empowered individual. I have the potential to tap into brilliance, a genius state of knowing I've got the ability to empower moving into positivity. Because when we start to move through those different mindsets, that's when we understand that we are accountable for the value that we place into the collective community. And who would really want to stay in that negative state when we know we've got the power seat of choice
Right.
and we can be empowered because then we get to have this beautiful interaction with other human beings. We get to enrich the humanness of who we all are and really create an environment that I believe that we were destined to experience.
That is so true. That is so true what you said, Omar.
Yeah.
Once we can believe in ourselves, we can move in that space.
Yeah.
And we affirm that every day because it's constant reforming ourselves that we can move in the space of, and live the life that we want to be and create that reality.
And I think when I'll say personally, when I began really working and using myself as a data point of information with my husband, with my two children, with my clientele, if I had a speaking engagement, I would start to really incorporate this in, and you can feel the level of energy starting to uplift itself because collectively energy recognizes itself
Yes.
and it understands, right? So negative attracts negative, positive attracts positive. But again, like spark plugs, we need the negative and the positive for the contrast. As humans, I believe it's built into the condition of our experience to be able to recognize, oh, that is a negative environment. Let me use that in a positive way. But again, we really do become very trapped in the pattern of negativity, and we feel that we have no way out. But through proper nutrition, through learning and growing our knowledge base, through expanding our experiences and how we try new things, everything is energy. I can't stress that enough. So think about the food we eat, the music we listen to, the people we surround ourselves
Yes.
with. Take a step back and really hone in on the skill of awareness. Is that uplifting, enriching, advancing my experience as a human being? Or is it keeping me in the state of stagnation or limited thinking, limited being? Or is it sparking something new? Because the more we expand, the more newness we bring in and the more value we have to then share. So with my kids, and a lot of what they're going through in their teenage years and their young 20s, even though I'm not a day over 25 myself,
Love it.
I love the energy of a 25-year-old, but I have to explain to them that this is not all there is. What you're seeing in the world, politically, religiously, your school. Take it in and then have the ability to research its opposition. So now you get to see both sides of it. Again, contrast is such an empowering key and a skill when you can learn how to use it to elevate yourself first. And this is not a selfish statement. This is not an egoic statement. Until you understand self, there is absolutely no way we can authentically understand another. So, this journey of awareness, this journey of empowerment is so important because then it allows us to authentically connect and then work together.
Absolutely
That's
right.
beautiful. That's very
Absolutely
beautiful.
right. Because, we tend to not look at the negative and understand the negative. We fight against that negative. Like I always say to people, that negative, look for the positive within that negative. Because it's able to help you to move forward. It's trying to tell you something within that negative. It's trying to teach us something. Use
Absolutely.
it. Use it.
Yes.
Use it.
So think about very quickly. Let's just say you're having an argument, whoever it may be with, whatever the environment of the argument is. What do? We just keep arguing, and we just are trying to find different ways to make our point, be the right one, right? Have control over the situation. But what would happen if we looked at one another and said, okay, hold steady for a moment. Let's take a breath, take a physical step back. Let's look at one another and ask each other in the moment. We are aware that we are arguing about the same thing for some of us that we've argued for decades.
Yes.
No movement. No movement. Now, I am willing to learn how to transform this argument into something that would benefit both of us and that other person, right? So you make a pact. I am willing to. Right now, I'm accountable that I have kept this argument in place. I am sorry for that.
Right.
I was stuck. Then the other person says, well, I'll be darned. I've been stuck too. Now, let's take the emotion out of it for a moment, meaning I need to be right. I need to win. I need to control. What happens if I look at this argument again as a reflective mechanism for my growth, and you look at it for your growth? How can we then help each other? Now we get into I'm scared, I'm vulnerable, I'm nervous, I'm reacting from something someone said to me or did to me years ago. I'm bringing that energetic blueprint into this present moment. So I'm not really able to see all the beauty and the empowering opportunities because I'm reacting from an old pattern, right? Old data, old worn out tape playing over in the mind. Now you look at one another and you say, okay, if we were positive, intelligent thinking human beings and we were elevated, how would we now talk to one another? Let's put the old aside for a minute, suspend the doubt, suspend the insecurity and the need to control. Let's really come into this environment now to rise up to a new level of understanding and humanness. Now we come into energy. So we've neutralized. Now, how do we infuse positivity? And boy, you run that through in a matter of a minute, and you start to see sometimes the laughter, the joy, sometimes the tears, and the contraction, because we get scared when we want to be vulnerable, right? But that we have a saying at the Science of Empowerment: strong enough to be vulnerable.
Yes.
You are in a protective space. And a side note, if you are not in a protected environment, but that old energy, that pattern is coming through, and you work through the principles just quietly in your own mind, and you start to shift that energy within your mind body, consciousness connectivity. That other person may not get it, but you will start to evolve your own life. And I will tell you, if it's someone that you interact with enough and you hold that power seat of your choosing to be empowered, eventually that other person begins to transform. They may not even know why, and it will not matter. You hold the power seat for your own evolution, and you will ultimately help elevate the environment.
Laura, you put it so right, girl.
It's in my bones. I
I
feel this. I want this for every human being to know what it feels like to tap in to your brilliance, your genius, your own journey of empowerment. No one should be sad, abandoned, neglected, abused, hurt, in a repeat. Now, I'm not saying that for those of us that are in a condition of suffering, that you somehow, with magic, become a positive human being. Absolutely not. But start to work this mindset material. Bring it in. Listen to the podcast. Go to the library. Heck, I have people all over the world that have reached out to me in pretty dire conditions, and I will help anyone. No one should feel alone and disempowered. We are here empowering you. It starts with one reach out, and you will be amazed at what happens with that.
Absolutely, Laura. Absolutely. Because many times when we are going through these experiences, we tell ourselves that, you know what, we are alone in this, and we tend to put that self-pity party on ourselves. You know, we need to understand that there is help out there. We can get help because we can't do it on by ourselves. We can get the help that we need. You only have to get up and reach out and be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Be vulnerable and reach out, and you will get the help that you're looking for. Let's talk in individuality. Juicy.
Love this. Love this. Love this. Again, people take conversations about self as this conceited, all is me, but it isn't. In order to become a self-actualized individual, you need to go through that journey. You need to explore and expand who you are first. Because how can I go to you and ask you to be something that I have yet to become myself?
Yeah.
Right? I need to know what it feels like to be vulnerable, to put down the issue of control, the judgment. Now, not every situation can we experience firsthand. We all have those unique conditions that we were born into, raised up in, and then hopefully made some choices to help steady some of the negativity we've gone through. But I know that we all share one condition: humanity, the condition of being human in this time frame. And we all know what that feels like, especially now. Our world is very small. I remember when I was a kid growing up in the United States of America, and all of what we were taught, that I felt like we were so removed from the rest of the world because we're kind of over here, right? We're Europe and all the other continents. There's so much around each other. Now I am so honored to know that one reach out, one phone call around the entire globe can connect me to anyone.
Yes.
And so we are individually connected to the whole. However, we must know ourselves before we can know another. It's just that simple.
That is so true. That is so true.
That is absolutely right what you just said there. We must know ourselves before we know someone else.
Yeah.
Because if we don't know ourselves, we can never understand someone else.
No, and if I truly don't know myself, how can I look at you and ask you to show up?
Right.
So you're the one that needs to become aware. You're the one that needs to be willing to change this. You are accountable, your fault, right? Well, critical thinking, throw out emotions. Heck no, I'm going to be emotional and you think differently. And you're the one that needs to be more positive. You can feel when somebody doesn't have ownership to their own individualized journey. They haven't taken it yet. And so we're always looking for someone on the outside to make us feel differently. But when you begin to become an individualized thinking human being, we realize that it is such an inside job. What information I bring in, how I choose to respond to
Right.
someone, it's on me. It has nothing to do with anyone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Totally agree with you.
I like the part you said, how you choose to respond, and that is so significant. That is so significant.
Yeah.
How we choose to respond within that situation.
And it's okay. It really is okay if we don't have the answers, and if we don't have the skill set, and if we don't have the education in this moment. But what is not okay is if we do choose to stay uneducated, because there are so many ways to broaden our mindset, to fill our soul and our spirit with information that will help us understand ourselves and one another differently. So when I come up against a client, or again, just talking in general with people, and you start to feel that limited sense of self and that limited mindset, oh, that's where I love it, because then I move
Yes.
into because then I go right into the principles, right into the awareness. And if there's someone that is very stuck because they've had a lot of trauma and maybe they're just being introduced to new knowledge, I go right into energy, negative, positive, neutral. If you could see yourself being a powerful individual, what would you say to yourself right now?
Right.
So again, suspend all of what we carry with us from the abuse and the neglect and the abandonment and the hardships of our conditions early on in our life. Now I want you to put that down for a moment, and I want you to think as an empowered individual. I want you to feel empowered. How would you now begin to talk to yourself? And you could see their face changes, their body language changes. They start to realize, I can think differently.
Right.
Now, with support through a book, through a coach, through a program, through a podcast, now you can begin to open up and expand. Take new in and start to dissolve the old.
So,
Start to understand that you don't need to hold onto those patterns physically, emotionally, mentally, through food, alcohol, drugs, whatever it may be. You really are in the power seat to release it and redesign a brand new system, mind, body, and consciousness. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it happens at the snap of a finger, though let me add a little neuroscience in. It can. We just aren't quite equipped yet with the belief that we can manifest it that fast. We're a little bit in this gravitational pull, this 3D experience. So it's a little lag time. But I am telling you, if you practice the science of empowerment, you can empower your life faster than you can even believe in this moment.
Yeah.
and the shift, when you experience that shift,
Yes,
OMG.
absolutely. And
Truly amazing. It's
have
magical.
fun with it. Like, try to, again, this is one of my favorite catchphrases, and I say it everywhere: suspend the doubt. Suspend it. It doesn't mean you're letting it go, but just suspend it and give yourself the freedom
Right.
to again, design a new life. So even if it's through journaling or meditation or a hike or a walk on the beach or having a cup of tea via a Zoom with a friend, just put the story down and create something new for yourself. Show yourself that you have that ability to tap in again to that brilliance. The human potential is brilliant. It is awaiting its own awakening. It's sitting inside of us,
Right.
just trying to get out. That is what those sparks of, I know that isn't right, but I'm not sure what is. That contrast again, to
Right.
know that this environment is not where I belong. I don't know how to get out of it. That's where the genius is trying to lead you to. That's where you sit in that neutrality and you look at that negativity as, this is not my sticking point. I was not born and destined to stay connected to this, but I'm here now for a reason. And that reason is to propel you up and out onto a different plane, into a different way of thinking. And that's where your beauty and your genius lies. In
Yes.
you realizing, I have the ability to shift and transform.
And create
Yeah.
your own new reality.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
You know, listening to you, and you're diving so deep, and you're helping us to peel those layers away
Mm,
and go into that center,
yeah.
you know. My question to you, as a child,
Mm.
how is it important for us with our children to really instill these values in our children? How important is this?
So I can barely sit in my seat because this is one of my passions. At the moment, with everything I'm doing, I'm working on getting the grown-ups in the room to understand this. But my heart is with the youth. So I went through some hardships myself, and I wish I knew how empowered I truly was, especially when we're young. We are so still connected to the universal understanding of our own empowerment. What happens is, and not blame, but this is the condition, our parents, our grandparents, our school teachers, our religious leaders, our politicians, right? They start inputting all this information when we're very young. And the way the brain is wired, we pretty much take that in and it becomes our identity, it becomes our way of living. Now, can you imagine if we created a school or a program in a school where we had a few teachers who were willing to, and hear this out because you're going to love this, both of you. When I grew up, we said the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, that rings true for many, and that also puts others on the back of their heels. But the purpose of it was to unify and begin the morning with connectivity. May not have been correct or correct. Can you imagine if a teacher got up in front of a first grade classroom and said, today, you are amazing human beings. You have the potential of the elements that create worlds. You are in the power seat to move through your day with each other and interact from a negative, a neutral, or a positive position. But as your teacher, not your leader, but your present guide, I would love to encourage you all to go from neutral to positive throughout this entire day. Help where they need help. Teach where you can teach.
Right.
Help raise your fellow students up. Now let's begin our day. That quickly. What do you think would start to happen in the minds of our youth when they, every morning, regardless of the condition at home,
Right.
in their neighborhood or their society, they have a place that they know they are being seated and exposed to their potential? What happens if you did an assignment every day where you explain to them that they are architects? that they get to design the blueprint of what they are dreaming about, what they see for themselves. Can
Right.
you imagine what that one classroom would show the rest of the world?
It creates a ripple
Absolutely.
effect.
There you go. So every mom and dad, or every aunt and uncle or grandparent that listens to this podcast, begin to
Yeah.
seed the mind of the youth with their potential to live
Right.
an empowered existence. Settle for nothing less. And if they are exposed to abuses and the trials and tribulations that we know are out there, keep this mind connected to the power that runs this globe. You are that. It's in our DNA. The ions, the atoms, the whole cellular network knows its power. It's just been covered over with the negativity of the human condition. This is where we put the superhero cape on and we burst through it, and
Yeah.
we allow our youth to become our future leaders of an empowered society.
Beautifully said.
Beautiful. Well
Beautifully
said.
said.
Well said. Articulate
Yes.
very well.
Yes.
Yes.
So if there's any teachers out there, or
I
there's any
know.
entrepreneurial leaderships, and we can find a way to move into a classroom with a principal, a superintendent, however it looks, and they are willing, because there's one teacher there willing to add this into their morning. There's nothing religious about it. There's nothing purely science. We don't have to put, it is about empowering the mindset of our children,
Yeah.
period. Negative, neutral, positive energy. Happiness, sadness, neutral. We can find ways to create the wording so it doesn't have repercussions to anyone particular. This is about rising up the potential that is in there already, exposing our children to their power for the collective good, not for individual growth, for collective, because that's what the classroom is. It's their beginning experience of being in an environment with others and learning how they can empower and add value rather than try to be in control or be a bully or be mean.
That is
Beautiful
well
said.
said. Well
Beautiful
said.
said.
Because we really need to empower our children. It is absolutely important. Because when we start to do that, we start to change their lives.
Yes.
We start to.
And again, giving, power and empowerment has also, right? That word has, those words have been fractured and they've been used against all of us. This is not power for control. This is empowerment so we become kinder, more steady, more central. So we have the ability to walk through, I'll use the word like a riot. There's a beautiful story with Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he practiced this, right? There was a party and it was getting out of hand and the police were there, and he walked through holding the energy of peace, of calm, and eventually that energy, because he was so beautifully skilled through his own individual journey, he started to understand, right? This is positive causation, positive effect through self for the collective good. This is where an empowered life shifts from being a powerful person. An empowered person understands it is a collective
Yes.
reasoning. A powerful person likes to be above, right? So when we're in positions, it's all for me. This is what I love about the life of living from the state of empowerment. How do I affect you? And
Yes.
how can I have kind, positive advancing effect on you, because then we start to reflect it, and then this is where the magic, right? It's like this beautiful alchemy, and the environment just starts moving in this, oh God, just this beautiful way.
It's beautiful, it's blissful, and it can be felt.
Yes.
It can be felt, and distance doesn't really matter wherever you are, any
No.
part of the world. When you're practicing that and sharing it and being in a collective space, it can be felt deeply. And that is where the change happens.
I really do believe, and I write about this in the Science of Empowerment, that, science for ever since I can remember has said, we have all this junk DNA. I've known since I was a kid. I used to say it to my grandmother all the time. There's no junk in here. No junk in here. And then as I became, more educated, and I started studying and looking all the way back to Sumerian and the ancient mystery schools in Egypt, and looking at the Bible and the Quran, just looking. There's a collective unity about what we're all trying to achieve. But we have, unfortunately, allowed, because I think it's what we were supposed to do here, we've allowed the powers to hold a few positions and tell us, but that's all starting to change now. But hidden within the DNA, it's coded in our DNA. We know differently. We know our power, not for power's sake, for empowering one another.
Yes.
And this is something very beautiful. I'm just going to share this real quickly. I listened to a talk on, someone had asked, why did Jesus do what he did? How was he able to heal the sick, help the blind see, all of the stories? And this person so eloquently put it, he learned how to hold the energetic structure of empowerment.
Yes.
He only saw you in your highest and best frequency. This is why he said, do not go out and tell others. Hold it in yourself. Know that you are a son, a daughter of God, or the gods, however you want to look at it. But you have it in you. Own it. Hold on to it and quietly gift it to others. So he was able to hold you in a vibrancy, a frequency of knowing that truth, which you could not doubt it, because he held it so beautifully. Now what would happen as others went out and someone said, oh no, that can't be true. Nobody, you were imagining it, or he's something other than what he is. And then that's where all the contrast came in. So now when we have any type of leadership or coaches or authors that say to you, it is in you, we need to let everyone know, like, I can own that. It is in me. It doesn't mean I'm special or better. It means I'm connected to you. And now you and I are connected to everyone else that's starting to see the light, holding that positivity.
I like the fact that we said suspend the doubt. Suspend the doubt.
Yes.
And get into that space.
And do it often, because then the doubt doesn't hold the power, and the empowerment begins to become how you live your life every day. Sure. I work this formula every day of my life. Every day I run through the principles. I choose the power seat of neutrality. Now, I don't go from negative to neutral because I'm just studied in it enough. I'm pretty much always neutral. And then I go as fast as I can, like a rocket ship, into positivity. Because why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
We get to do it.
Why not?
Yeah.
We're here, we have the opportunity, and it's available to us.
Yes.
So we just have to be in that receiving mode. Accept.
Open up to the current, the electric current that floats in and around our globe. We really are truly made of some of those elements. It's in us, the power that creates this beautiful blue jewel that floats. We're part of it. We're part of nature.
Yes.
Come on. You don't think you can heal a past trauma and become an empowered individual? You can.
Absolutely right. I totally
Yes.
agree with you.
You
We
just
can.
have to hone in on that and harness it.
We
Yes.
can.
Let's move
Once we
forward.
use the right principles,
Yes.
we can. We can.
Absolutely.
It's
We
there
can.
for the taking.
And it's free, you know?
It is absolutely our birthright to evolve. It is our birthright. No one gives it to us and no one can take it away. It is ours. We are in ownership of our evolution. Let no
Yes.
one tell you differently.
Right.
Absolutely right. I really love how you put it.
And when you can receive that kind of mindset,
Mm,
because then you move into the space of openness.
Yeah.
And you're able to experience that transformation.
yeah.
You're living in a different and a new, because you're in a new state of mind.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Positive receptivity allows for the exploration into all that is possible. And yes, I understand we are limited on certain levels. We can't just fly into space and, we're limited, but not really. So then we use the imagination, right? Whether you're for or against, like an Elon Musk or a Richard Branson, right? Or a Billy Carlson. They're flying their dreams off planet. They're expanding the brilliance of how they can think about life. Expand with them, or someone that you admire, or that again, it could be an author, it could be a coach, it could be a podcast. Listen, open up, and advance.
Yeah.
Listen, open up, advance. Beautiful.
Because once you experience that movement, you never go back and you want to bring others with you.
Oh my God, that's why I wrote the book. 5 years of my life, I wrote this book. I was concussed for over 400 of the days that I wrote this book. And I was like, I know what this feels like. I want everyone to know their own version, your own journey, your own exploration, your own arrival, your own awakening. But please do not live a life unseen to your own empowerment. Please do not.
Activate that reason for being here.
Yes.
That is so important. It's dedication and perseverance.
Yes.
We really need to show up for ourselves. It is so important that we show up for ourselves and give ourselves that chance to evolve.
Yes.
Believe in yourself.
Yes.
Believe in yourself.
And again, don't hesitate to tap in to the information that is available through a podcast, through a book, through a coach, through whatever it may be, art, music. There's so much beautiful innovation happening in our world right now to help support and guide and expand where we are in this present moment. And again, I'm not going to say it's a waste, but please do not stay attached to the negative story of what once was and block the advancement of what can be.
Thank
So
you for
true.
saying that, because it hinders you. It hinders you.
Yes.
And you're not able to live out. First of all, live your true essential self and live your purpose out.
Like untether yourself from the story. Create a brand new vision for yourself. And again, remember, even if your present condition is not the best, it begins in your mind. Start to become the architecture of thought. Redesign how you think about thought. Use it to empower you out of that present condition. If it takes time, so be it. But begin and know that you have what it takes to recalibrate into something absolutely empowering and beautiful.
Yes. Once we could start to change that paradigm.
Yes.
Yeah.
We change our whole life.
Yes.
And start now.
Yeah.
Now.
Absolutely,
In
Lord.
this
Start
moment. Not tomorrow. Now. Get the book. Hire a coach, listen to a podcast, get a group together. I have book clubs all over the world on this for this exact reason. Oh my God, I read The Science of Empowerment. You need to read it. Now we need to have a book club. We have tons of questions. I show up all the time for people. They reach out to me, some paid, no paid. I don't care.
Right.
Don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Let's elevate.
Elevate. live the purpose,
Yep.
change
Absolutely.
lives.
We
Yep.
That's
all
what really
need to
matters.
hold
At the end
that.
of the day, that's what really matters.
Yep.
Absolutely. We
Collect your
all need to.
wisdom.
Mhm.
Yep. Collect your wisdom.
Yes.
Elevate your mind, body, and consciousness and become an evolved individual.
Mhm.
And that's how we're going to have a beautiful world.
Wow. And when you get to that evolved space, it's magic.
Yeah.
You get to experience the beauty of what living is all about.
Yeah.
How can someone get hold of that book?
Yes, so go to the website right now. We're launching on Amazon soon, but I've kept it close to my heart, my baby for now, but pretty soon we're going global. But if you go to www.thescienceofempowerment.com, you can order the book, check out all the coaching, reach out to me. My business number's out for the world. I have people all over. One really cool thing about the book is there's these power quotes in the book, and people take these power quotes out of the book and they live by them, and they show me, like, they pull it out of a pocket or they're on vacation. It's the coolest thing.
Wow, that's absolutely beautiful. So, what if I'm hearing you correctly is that when you're reading that book, you need to have a journal next to you to put those pointers in there so you could start to live your life with
Yes,
those pointers.
it was written word by word by word to spark the awakening of your remembrance of how magnificent and brilliant you are.
Yes.
That's why that book was written for
Yeah.
you.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you so
You
much for
know,
doing that.
I am looking at the comments, and Janet Anderson, she's saying, when you talk about a whole school scenario with going to the school and the teacher showing up for the kids, she's saying this make me want to go to my grandkids school and start their day with this empowered words.
Wow.
So please buy the book, read the book, reach out to me, and maybe there's something there that we can create. And she can be a creator of empowerment for a new generation.
Yes.
A
That
creator
is how
of
it's
empowerment.
that's how it gets started.
Yes. And don't think you can't do that. Go to the teacher. Say, I'm reading this book. I've listened to this author, this life transformative coach, with these other women. I'm empowered. I would like to create an experience of empowerment for these children. Are you willing to meet me and collaborate with me? I will show up on that call. I will do whatever it takes.
Let's get it
Absolutely.
started. Yeah.
Let's get it started.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it starts with us.
Yes.
It starts with us. We are
And
showing
don't let any limiting thinking, well, who am I can't do that. What if that teacher says no? Keep manifesting the vision,
It
attract
surprises me.
it, and become it. When you become empowered, empowerment aligns with you.
Of course. The universe is always there to support us.
Always. And even if for a moment it isn't, use that contrast, right?
right.
Yes.
Use it, and now find another path, because in that path is going to be the lessons that you need to take with you to help someone else on their path.
Beautiful.
Laura,
Laura, you're amazing.
Thank you.
you
Wonderful.
give us so many
Mhm.
tools and keys this morning for us to unlock ourselves.
Yes.
And you help us this morning to understand negative, neutral, and positive, and how we could use our situation, whatever situation we're going through at this moment, how we can use that situation to empower our lives
Yeah.
and help us to move forward so we could show up in the world and to help transform the world also.
Yes.
You really gave it to us this morning, and we just want to thank you so much for
Thank you.
showing up here this morning on Soul Light and Body and bringing this beautiful, inspiring message to the community.
Thank you. I honor both of you. Thank you. It's been a privilege.
We honor
Thank
you
you.
too.
We honor
Because
you too.
the value that you have brought to this space, because it's not just for this moment. People watch the shows on replay, and people are going through so much in different spaces and different times of their life. But having could sit and receive something like this coming through to us, it's magical, it's life changing, is really truly transformative. So we thank you.
Thank you. Anytime, anything that you both collectively, individually need from me, you know I am here all the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Don't
for saying
ever
that.
hesitate.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Our day.
Yes.
True honor.
Audience, we just want to thank you so much for showing up today.
Mm-hmm.
And as you show up today, I hope that you're making your notes to use these keys to empower your life. You can make that start this minute. As Laura said, start now to empower your life. You've got greatness within you.
Yes.
Stop looking at yourself with this self-limiting beliefs that you're not good enough. You are good enough.
Yeah.
You have greatness within you. Show up, just get up and show up for yourself. Grab Laura's book and start to write down those beautiful words that she wrote in that book to do your self-help. If you can't do it on your own, you're not alone. Reach out to us.
Mm-hmm.
Reach us, give us a call. All Laura handles are in the comments. Myself and John handles are in the comments. Reach out to us. We can help. You're not alone.
Now, don't feel you're alone. And just know, remind yourself every day that you're special, you are enough, you're one of a kind. And just keep reaffirming that to yourself because you are special. And you are one of a kind. And you're beautiful.
And unique.
And
Laura, thank you once again. To the
Thank
viewers,
you.
thank you once again and have a wonderful week. See you guys on Friday. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Soul Light and Body, that you could continue to receive these beautiful, juicy episodes. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.